Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to be sort of reviewing the game Blockland, telling you what it is, giving background on the game, and telling you how it actually plays and if it is a good game or not. So this game was actually first made in 2004, being slowly tweaked over the years and eventually being released and put up for sale in 2007. So this game is pretty old. Not to imply that that's a bad thing though. Um, Now, judging from the title, you've probably already guessed that this is a building game. You can build stuff, make servers, and join other people's servers to see what they've built and play on their server. Now, when you build, you're pretty limited as to what you can build. Um, there's honestly very little blocks you can work with, um, and like weapons and vehicles and stuff like that. But there's a lot of add-ons on the forum and stuff that you can implement to get all that stuff, and they're really easy to install. So I definitely recommend them. And that's really where this game strives, with add-ons. If Blockland players only had access to vanilla Blockland, then this game would be extremely boring, with very limited building and game modes. Servers would just be free building servers and family role-playing servers galore. Speaking of family role-playing servers, that's really where you're going to see the worst of the community. The Blockland community, at least in game, is basically a mixture of regular people just having a good time, fucking around, making jokes in the chat. And then you have the children who abuse their admin powers and are overall just not very nice children, who typically fail to follow the rules of a server even if they're the ones hosting it and are not able to take a joke. This will affect your gameplay, but you don't really need to worry about it. Usually, these kind of people are on role-playing servers and sometimes free build servers, which I tend to avoid unless they're hosted by a friend of mine. Now, the community on the forum is also a mixture of people. Very annoying people and very annoying sensitive people who will often get provoked by the regular annoying people, and topics are usually either a giant circle jerk or a giant flame war that gets deleted after a couple of hours. I think the only reason to really go on the forum is to search for add-ons and to check for new Blockland updates. A lot of users use the forum as a personal blog, making topics about the happenings in their lives, and there's an ongoing joke on the forum of calling it the Blogland forums as opposed to Blockland forums. But I don't want to rip on the community too much. I mean, it's definitely better than a lot out there, and of course there's some cool people in it. There always is in the community, but no community I've ever seen, in my opinion, can be considered decent. Now back to the actual game itself. The physics in this game are actually pretty decent for a building game like this. A lot better than Roblox, but that's a whole other video on its own. The way blocks fly, the way your character moves, it feels nice. The weapon play is nice. I also believe that the gun's bullets are projectiles, so there can be some skill involved on a team deathmatch or a deathmatch, depending on the gun. It's overall pretty good. Now, I'm going to talk about building for a second. Go back to building. The building is tolerable, and I say only tolerable because in some building games, an example would be, of course, Roblox. You have the option of being in a sort of spectate mode, being able to build and edit your blocks, changing their sizes, moving blocks around, etc. I'd like to see that in Blockland, but, you can't really blame BadSpot, the creator of Blockland. He probably doesn't want Roblox suing them for doing that. Roblox is a very large company after all. It has, like, 70 million players and counting, so it's definitely understandable. Servers can be very good and very interesting. This has been proven by past and current servers and maps. But unfortunately, Blockland in its current state does not have very many decent servers. and honestly, it's felt very inactive and has had less servers that are actually good ever since it got released on Steam, which it was about a year ago. I'm not exactly sure why this is. Maybe older Blockland players who typically host the best servers um, just stop hosting servers and stop playing the game because they felt that newer players from the Steam community would just ruin the game for them. Maybe it did, and that could also be the reason why they left. Um, I'm not exactly sure if there has been a change in the community since Blockland got released on Steam. Well, I mean, obviously there's going to be a change, but I don't know if it's anything major. I actually took a hiatus from Blockland about a month before it got released on Steam, so I'm not exactly sure on that. But overall, servers have sort of gone to shit, and they're pretty inactive. There are a few good ones though, but you just have to look and be on at the right times. This game can be really fun at times, but it requires good servers or good creativity, which I actually do not have. And unfortunately, I haven't been seeing too many good servers. Hopefully I will though, because when I first bought Blockland, I had loads of fun with it. I would like to say though, on Blockland's behalf, that it definitely has character. I mean, the way the blockheads move, the characters in Blockland, is kind of goofy in a good way. The audio in the game, the little screams the blockheads make when they die, it's awesome. It's just really enjoyable. Um, Also, this game runs on an engine called Torku. You've probably never heard of that. I know I didn't when I first got Blockland. I believe it's similar to C++. I never actually really learned programming or scripting. I learned some of a simplified version of Lua that Roblox uses a while back, but if you have the patience and time, you should definitely learn how to script in this game and in other languages as well. Alright, I think that's about it for my Blockland introduction and review. Goodbye.